Hey listening friends, I'm your host and coach Laura Malone. As an entrepreneur and leader, wife and mom, teacher and creator, I am showing up to share possibility with you and help you find vision and wisdom because you deserve to be equipped and released as the hero of your own story. Coaching really does help you change your life. And if you want to know how to guide yourself and others well, I created this podcast just for you. It's a place where you can grab tools, teachings, and ideas for both personal and spiritual growth, as well as entrepreneurship and coaching if that's your thing. So as you listen in, I pray I can help you create a legacy of impact and really start writing the story of a life you love living. Now let's jump into today's episode. Hey friends, I wanted to do a couple of episodes that are about some things that I feel God's been highlighting to me lately, things that speak to me, things that I feel that people are dealing with, and they just keep, different things that just keep being highlighted, and I want to pay attention to them, but then I want to be able to share it with you, and maybe it's for you, maybe it's not, maybe it's for you to help have understanding for people in your life who are dealing with some of these things. So one of them is giving grace to the past versions of you. Have you lived like the past version of you was less than, or maybe even despising the past version of you? You know, I see my kids. I'm thinking about when I was going through Facebook pictures from photos I took of my kids a long time ago, and they're all teenagers or in their 20s. And sometimes what they do is they look at those old pictures and go, ew, oh my gosh, look at me. How could you let me wear that? Or why'd you let my haircut look like that? I'm like, well, because you're the one with the scissors. I didn't have any control over that. And then one picture was, how come you cut my hair that way? Why did you give me bangs like that? And I'm like, well, they're the same bangs you have today, but you think they're cute today because you chose them. But looking back on you with those bangs, you don't think they're cute. And so it's like their eyes see this past version of themselves and they don't like what they see. And it makes me so sad because I think I want you to love yourself, who you were, the process that got you to here. But then I want you to recognize that loving yourself, caring about who you have been, who you are, and who you will be, it makes all the difference. It really impacts your paradigm because you need to have a shift in your paradigm in that context of giving grace to who you've been and to who you are, so that you have a foundation and you can build on towards future you, so that future you looks back at current you and can say, yes, you did. Good job. Look at what you overcame. Look at how you were winning. Like, you want to set up future you so that future you has a healthy perspective of current you, but that begins with current you having grace towards past versions of you. Now, past version of you might be who you were last year, who you were when you were a kid, who you were in your last job, who you were in your last relationship, who you were before Jesus. So we are all just in process. If you don't have grace towards past you, then you don't have grace for anybody else having been who they were. Because if you cannot do it for yourself, I guarantee you're not doing it fully for anyone else. For me to be able to have grace for who my husband used to be, for who my clients used to be, for who my children used to be, that only stems from me looking at past versions of myself and saying, well, you did the best you could. And, well, it got us here, so it can't be all that bad. Because now I'm me today. And I want to think of myself with grace, with forgiveness, because that really is the foundation of that future me has to stand on. That is the ceiling, right? That it will be the floor that future me stands on. So how can you do that for yourself? How can you give yourself grace for who you've been? Because the whole process of it is really you becoming who you've always been in God's eyes. All right, that's my thing for today. I'm just going to start putting out some episodes about all the things that I feel God's highlighting that my clients, and whether you're a coach or not, my listeners, I feel that God is really highlighting some things. He wants to touch base. He wants to touch your heart. He wants to take out your heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh. He wants to impact you and remove all the hindrances to his love. And these are the things that I'm hearing. So I hope that this has blessed you. And if it's not for you, then maybe it's for you to understand. If you've been giving yourself grace, maybe it's for you to help yourself understand what other people need to hear from you, that you can encourage other people to give themselves grace for who they've been, the past versions of themselves, and that they can look forward to building a foundation so that future them has a healthy perspective and cares about themselves, loves who they were in process. Loving yourself while you're in process, instead of judging yourself, will make a huge difference in your paradigm, all that you believe and think. And then that's going to change how you feel about yourself and what you do and don't do for yourself. It's going to completely change the results and the legacy that you create. So have a great day, and we'll talk to you in the next episode. I so appreciate you as a listener. And if you are looking for a community of like-hearted believers who love all things coaching, be sure to jump into the Christian Life Coach Collective Facebook group. Do you think you might be called to become a certified Sterling and Stone life coach? Well, learn more about the Greenhouse course, where you can get trained in just 10 weeks to start building the foundation of your coaching practice. All the links you need are in the show notes. Happy story making.